Well, I tell you what, it's been quite a while since I've been out in the mud. I've been doing a lot of metal detecting lately, finding some phenomenal stuff. But there is something about slopping around in the mud looking for stuff showing itself during these low tides, which I'm realizing this mud is a little looser than it's been. Hello, Mr. Bottle. You're not super old. Do you have anything written on it? No. Everything is very wet here. Usually this ground is a little harder and easier to walk on, which is probably why most people don't come down here, because it's not the most secure feeling. But I'm going to search all through here real fast, and then I'm going to go to my other spot. See, bottle's showing up, but twist off, so it's not super old. Old soda, Anheuser-Busch maybe. Yeah, I think that's what it is. All right. Well, you know, I find it funny. I mean, so many people ask me, why do you pick up pieces of pottery? It really is just junk. You can almost buy pieces of full pottery than picking up these junk pieces, but you have to appreciate the artwork on it. And now I'm a huge eagle fan, so the fact that this little piece of pottery right here has an eagle with stars around it just means I have to grab it. And now I got something to research when I go home, so that's kind of a little bit of the fun also. But cool piece. So the tide did do a good job here pulling up some old bottles, because the stuff I would have seen already. There's one sitting right there I'm going to take a look at too. This one's a twist off, but I kind of like the shape, almost ink-ish. I'm going to say I really like the shape of this one. It's not common, so it has something to it. There's no embossing on it, but I like the shape, and it's definitely a keeper. Look at that cool thing. In pretty good shape. Well, I might pull a few out of this area today. Usually I'm just good for one cool thing. Let me see what that is real fast while I got you on here. Oh, it's got a little punt to it. And it might be a cork top. I don't see any embossing on it. It might be a little on the older side. I'll clean it up to see if there's any bubbles in the glass. And just for... oh, I might see something else. Hold your horses. There's another one here. Not super old. I got a bunch of these already. Okay, I'll take these two. Oh, wait, hold on. It just popped out too. Old ketchup. That's a little on the older side. All right. There's more to look at. Well, I haven't been here in about 3 weeks, and we had some pretty nasty storms during that time. It's amazing how much different the place can look. Oh, that's weird. Because there's a lot going on here today. I wish I had longer to look. Here's a nice little bottle stopper. It's got something written on there. And I got a guy who I just met, old-time fisherman. He's in his 80s. He saw me digging down here, so we struck up a conversation. And those are the guys you want to talk to. They got an amazing amount of information around here. It's funny, he didn't even know this was here. So I gave him a little bit of information today, but he's coming back to show me a bottle of his that he wants me to kind of give him some information on. So I said, what the heck, go ahead, come on. So I'm going to be a little distracted in a minute, but what a day to be distracted. There is a ton to look at today. A ton. Well, I think there he is. Yep, man in the red truck. All right, let's see what kind of bottle he has. Well, I'm still scrounging around. I did get to talk to that fisherman, the old school fisherman, who actually didn't bring me back a bottle, but brought me back an unbelievable piece of pottery that I think, not this is just a cup I just found, but it reminded me to talk about it. That piece of pottery you're going to see in a minute has Native American written all over it. He said he found it 50 years ago. I said I'd try and do some research on it for him and send him any information I can get, but I'm not the greatest researcher in the world, that's for sure. Probably a little better than he is, but not much. So what we thought was going to be a bottle was actually this really old clay pot that this gentleman had found 50 years ago on the beach. Now, it's hard to see them, but there's some definitive markings on it, which I showed you on the bottom here, what they actually look like. They look like, to me, some Native American symbols, but I don't know enough about them to really be able to say. The top part looks a little wonky. It looks handmade. I unfortunately did not take a picture of the bottom of it, although there were no maker's mark or signatures of any kind on the bottom of this piece. So if anyone has any information on this pot, leave a comment in our comments section. It would be greatly appreciated. All right, here's something interesting. I love this stuff. That looks like a little tiny perfume, but we don't know. What's this right here? Huh. We don't know if this thing's intact or not. And I'm hoping, well, you saw it first. Look at the cut on this little perfume bottle. Love that. Excellent. No, you wouldn't have shown yourself unless those tides came in. Excellent. Great little piece. Look at you. All right. Don't drop it and break it. Numbnut. Cool. There's always a better chance the little ones are going to come unbroken. But this would have been a super, super fine. Look at the designs in it. That's definitely uranium glass. So I'm going to bring this back just to show you a picture of it under blue light and how much this thing's going to glow. But man, oh man, I wish the rest of it was here. Oh well. What else is here? Just so much searching I can do today that unfortunately I find myself spinning out of control again and just going too fast. I gotta slow it down and look for things and put my clothes back on before I do any digging like this. But if that's intact, oh, you son of a gun. That would have been a great, at the moment, embossed find. I'm looking at this, which is an inkwell. I was also looking at this little piece of pottery here that no, I found it. And almost Carlsbad, Czechoslovakia. That would have been a nice little find, but you got banged up. Can't take them all. Czechoslovakia. I do love that name. All right. Let's see what else I can find. Well, this wash did not quite turn out as I suspected it would, which was just loaded with gold coins and silver coins. I didn't really get much. even though it was a good wash. But I'm not leaving here without at least one little button, which just popped out. And maybe I'll just stick around a little bit longer. Or I'll do a little bit of digging to see if there's anything under a layer. I'd say it's a bit foggy today, but very cool looking. And just got a little break from work. I'm gonna run around a little bit. Well, again, what usually tends to look like the greatest possibilities for finding stuff doesn't always show up stuff. I'm not really sure what this is that I just picked up. It's copper. Looks almost like it might be part of a radiator. But for some unknown reason, I'm going to bring this home with me. So I saw this on a top shelf at the thrift store, and I absolutely love glass. So the stained glass cross was a must-have. It didn't have a price tag on it, so when I did go bring it up to pay for it, they just threw a $4.99 sticker on it. So for $4.99, I picked up this really, really cool cross. Well, I'm kind of in a rush to get to where I want to be, but I can't not pick this up. Interesting. Caraba. Oh, look at this. Oh, we got some ladies here. Fantastic. This could be a fun piece to research. There you go. First find of the day. Okay, I worked on this signal for about a good 10-15 minutes. I knew it was deep and I needed to know what it was because I need to mark this area, whether it's important to stay here a little bit longer or not. Now, although this thing is super clean, it's really beat up, but it is an Indian head penny, so that's early 1900s, late 1800s. And that means there could be stuff here. I'm just hoping it's not all as deep as this thing was sitting. It's another good signal, a little lead ball with that little mark on the bottom, which I think would have been left there when they made it. It was casted. I don't know a lot about it, but I think I read that somewhere before. I gotta tell you now, you better be good with your bearings out here, because this fog just came in out of nowhere. And as of right now, other than my little checkpoints like that buoy out there, visibility is getting down to almost about 15-20 feet in front of me. It's actually incredibly calming if it wasn't for that guy working on his machine over there. somehow lost the video last week of one more phenomenal coin that came out of the water. This is a 5-cent shield nickel that I pulled out last week, took a video of, but can't seem to find it. So I figured I'd put the pics of it in this week.